Nearly 2 years into the war, Gaza is facing the worst humanitarian crisis in modern history. Entire neighborhoods have been flattened, hospitals destroyed, and families forced into an endless cycle of displacement. More than 61,000 Palestinians have been killed, hundreds of thousands injured, and now hunger itself has become a weapon of war.
I'm not sure we have the right words anymore to describe what is happening to the Palestinian people in Gaza, to the mothers, to the children, to the fathers, to older people, to little babies. It's going from very, very bad to worse by the hour. And we've used every possible term to describe what is happening to people in Gaza for nearly 2 years now.
For months, aid groups have sounded the alarm. The UN warns that over 500,000 people in Gaza are now facing catastrophic hunger. At least 263 have already died from starvation, including more than 100 children, but aid remains blocked. Only a fraction of food and medical supplies ever make it past the borders. Most are looted, delayed, or outright denied.
To the communities in Gaza, it's been more than 5 months now for us. And so banning the largest humanitarian agency from bringing in the worth of around 6,000 trucks that continue to be stuck in places like Jordan, where I am today, and in places like Egypt, that's a decision, that's a political decision. And that's what needs to change. The siege must be lifted, and for that you need political will. For UNRWA to drive those trucks into Gaza, for other United Nations agencies, for other humanitarian agencies. We're not the only ones banned from entering our supplies to Gaza. There's other organizations. So all these organizations must be allowed to enter Gaza with their supplies and distribute it to people in need. Gaza needs, on average, at least 500 to 600 trucks of basics. It doesn't just include food, also includes water, it includes fuel for humanitarian purposes.
Journalists and aid workers who have been inside Gaza paint a devastating picture.
The situation got so much worse with the aid distribution being replaced by the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation. It went from 400 locations to 4. Our doctors were seeing people who were skin and bones. They were seeing people who were also violently attacked, sniped at and shot at these aid traps. So the situation there is such that, like, friends of mine have lost nearly 80 pounds. Some of them are walking around at 6 feet tall, 118 pounds. People are gaunt and they're only eating once every couple of days. I think very recently the market has gotten slightly better. I think that there's some more cheese and sugar on the market, but from March to August, it has been just a complete blockade from anything really mostly anything entering in to Gaza, apart from a few exceptions, and it has just not met the calorie count for people there.
Since May, food distribution has been largely replaced by the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation, a scheme run with US and Israeli support. Instead of hundreds of smaller distribution points, Palestinians must now walk miles under bombardment to just a handful of aid hubs. These sites, survivors say, have become death traps. At least 1,800 people have been killed since May trying to reach food.
And I saw a video yesterday of this little boy. He was barely 4 or 5 years old, and he carried a bag of wheat, probably heavier than his weight. And he was carrying a little knife with him. And that boy was interviewed by a guy, and the guy said to him, "Uncle, why do you have a knife with you?" And he's like, "Because I'm going to use the knife to if anyone comes and steals my wheat flour." It's a child. What is happening to humanity?
Anything gets in or anything goes out from Gaza. And so everything that is not going in is because of the Israelis stopping it from going in. The only way to repair this is to get Israel out, to get every machine, every weapon, every drone, every F-16, every Apache out of the enclave and pour money and food and assistance and medical health support, pouring it into Gaza because right now it's so dire.
Despite repeated international statements, little has changed. Less than a quarter of requested humanitarian funding has been disbursed. Bureaucratic controls, blockades, and insecurity means that most Palestinians remain cut off from life-saving assistance.
People are dying of hunger and of starvation. So if we want to control that, if we want to save lives, if we want to save our humanity, whatever is left of our humanity, all we're asking for is let us do our job. Not much, certainly zero for UNRWA. And we are, like I said, the largest humanitarian organization. This morning, a group of NGOs, over 100 NGOs, said that the vast majority of them working in Gaza are not allowed to bring anything. They haven't been able to bring anything. We're talking about very big NGOs who do very good work and who have a lot of supplies. And all of this amounts to millions of dollars in donor money, by the way. So the food, the medicine, the hygiene supplies, they're all waiting outside.
In Gaza, survival itself has become political. Aid that should save lives is being used as leverage in war. And as the world debates, every passing hour costs more children, more families, their right to live.
We are ready. We're just waiting for the green light. And meanwhile, just a couple of kilometers away, people in Gaza are starving totally unnecessarily when we can reach them with aid. I don't know where anywhere in the world this has happened when the humanitarians' hands are tied as much as ours are right now, when we are banned from delivering to 2 million people who are hungry and starving and very, very thirsty because the region has been going through a heat wave. The record high temperatures have been witnessed over the past few days. So people are dehydrated, they are fainting, and we're not allowed to help them. We are not allowed to do our jobs. Where in the world has this ever happened? Where?